Good morning and happy Friday. We made it. It seems like it's been a very, very long week, but a very good week. I hope your week has been fantastic as well, and that you're prepped for a great weekend where you can relax, recharge, refuel, whatever you need to do. So, today I want to talk about a topic that I am passionate about amongst like 50 that I am, but one that I had a great conversation with a friend of mine yesterday about. And a lot of what I have attributed my success and the success that I've worked with others, coached others, is are two things: visualization and small goals. And where I think both of them tie in, and we don't leverage these enough, is the fact that we think we have to take on the world. We think we have to go after the big goal, which I applaud. But those that set a big goal that don't set the small goals along the way are missing the point. They're cheating themselves of momentum. They're cheating themselves of success, because every single goal that I've set, every big goal that I've set, let me correct myself here, every big goal that I've set has had a set of smaller goals to support it, to get me along the way. If you imagine standing at a point, maybe it's you're standing on a stone, standing at the starting line, and the goal is, let's say it's a football field away from a concept standpoint. Would it be easier to go from that point and jump all the way to the goal line 100 yards away, or look at it 5 yards at a time? That is the mentality that you have to take when you go on a path to take on a big goal. Because so many times we stand at that starting line and we look at the big goal in the distance, we're like, oh, I can get there, but I don't have a plan. Or I want to get there, but it seems so far away. And that is when putting those small goals into place make a big, big difference. So, I'll give a couple of examples. Number one, when I talk about my weight loss journey quite a bit. And during that time, when I lost 100 pounds, I took it, 5 pounds at a time. I didn't try to lose, I didn't set out to try to lose 100 pounds, but wound up doing it. But even when I set the big goal, it was 5 pounds at a time. I didn't want to try to rush the process. I didn't want to try to rush to the goal because, number one, I knew that it would be really hard to do and I would get frustrated by any sort of lack of momentum in my eyes. Because if I started, and when I first started it, it was a change in diet and walking a mile a day. And if I walked that first mile, or I spent the first week walking a mile, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've only lost a pound, or I've only lost 2 pounds, and I've got 98 more to go. That seems daunting. But if you anticipate that small goal, if you set that small goal and say, you know what, I'm gonna work out 4 times this week, and that's my goal for this week, and it's going to eventually get me to where I want to get to. But if I'm not setting that 5 yard goal, that small goal, then you're going to get frustrated. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to have the energy depleted out of your motivation to get to that big goal. So I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're trying to build a business, if you're trying to build a book of business, if you're in professional services, you're trying to take on more clients, if you're trying to level up for a new job, if you're trying to upskill for a new job, like take it piece by piece. Yes, set the big goal. I will cheer that on all day long. And it's the little goals that get us there. That momentum will continue to build over time. The other piece to this is visualization. And I am a staunch supporter of it. I have not only seen it work in my own world, but I have worked with others, coached others. I do a lot of speaker coaching, and we talk about visualization. I walk some of my clients through exercises where I have them close their eyes, and I want them to picture the crowd. I want them to picture walking on stage. I want them to feel what it feels like, that sensation, like that, whatever that feels like, so that when it happens, you're not caught off guard, or at least you have a plan to deal with what you're going to encounter. And another example of this is when I ran the New York City Marathon. I had a picture in my mind, and I share this in my keynote, Become Unstoppable. It's the main theme that's parallel to the success pillars that I share. But in that training, every single day, every day that I went running, when it was cold, when it was raining, when it was super hot, when I had to run a really long ways, when I didn't feel like it, when my body felt like it was breaking down, I had this mental image in my head that I was going to cross the finish line in Central Park. And I was going to be on FaceTime with my family because I wanted my family to see what it looked like to succeed in that moment, what it felt like, all the sensations of it. But I had a very clear picture of what that looked like. And I made it come true almost to the detail of everything. There was a photographer at the finish line that took a picture of me. And if I would have been thinking about it, I would have had it ready to share. But it was the most powerful moment that I think I've ever been through with a goal. Because, here I am planning and training for almost 9 months. Every single run, every single workout, every single meditation that I was doing to get ready for the race, I pictured this image in my head of crossing the finish line, phone in hand, on FaceTime, celebrating with my family. And so, you finish the race. Of course, you're not even thinking about the photographers at that point. All I was thinking about was having a beer and a hamburger at that point because I was starving and exhausted. But when the race photos came out and you search by your bib number, you're trying to find yourself, and there's thousands and thousands of people, there was the image in the queue of all the photos. There was that image, and I get emotional thinking about it, because when I saw it, it took my breath away, because it was literally the image that I had been picturing for 9 months, going through all the trials and tribulations. So think about that with your goal. What does that look like? What does success look like? And I want you to take 5 minutes today. Not even that, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because everybody's too busy, right? So let's just call it 2 minutes. Take 2 minutes. I want you to close your eyes, preferably not driving. Close your eyes, and I want you to really focus in on what your goal is and what you want success to, look like. What does that look like? What does it feel like? Where are you living? What are you doing? What does your house look like? Who's around you? Picture that in your mind. What are you doing on a daily basis? But picture that image in your head and be very crystal clear about it. I mean, very specific. And don't let go of that image. Because when you start getting frustrated, when, not every day on the path to a goal is going to be easy. It's not always going to have success written all over it. But when you get to a point where frustration sets in, or disappointment sets in, or you don't feel like it that day, because we're not always going to feel like tackling our goals every single day, that image will get you through. That image will get you going. That image will help you push through that next step. And that should be everything that you hold on to in the process. Because when you have that visual, when it's crystal clear, when you have defined it in your mind and you buy into it, because that's the thing too. Like, you can picture yourself living in this great house and having all this money or cars or whatever your goal of success looks like. But if you don't truly buy into it and think that it's possible, if this just seems like a really nice visualized daydream, you're not doing it right. Buy into that image. Don't let anything get in the way of you in that image. Don't let anything get in the way of the progress that it's going to take to get to that point, so that you can have the life that you want, that you can live the life that you want, that you can have the success that you want, and you can carry forward that goal past the day of success. And I will say this, and again, try not to get emotional here. I visualized starting to do this series. I visualized starting to do more live streams. I even recreated my office from Minneapolis here in Kansas City, so it looked just like I felt in Minneapolis. So I felt comfortable. I feel in my element. But what I didn't realize in the visualization are some of the messages that I've been getting. Some of the messages of thanks, of just genuine, heartfelt support and vulnerability. And so for those who are watching, number one, thank you. For those that are watching it after the fact, tune in next time live. But for those who have reached out, for those who have shared their stories with me, for those who have found motivation in something that I've said, I appreciate you. I am cheering for you. And please know that these two elements, the small goals and the visualization, will get you to where you want to be. Because I know it's hard right now. I know it's difficult. Everybody's got their thing. You've got yours. But you are stronger than your opposition. You are stronger than your obstacles. You are stronger than the things that are standing in your way. your determination and your mental focus through visualization and setting small goals will get you where you need to go. And it will be hard. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but it will be possible. And that's all that matters. At the end of the day, knowing that it's possible is everything. And it is when you buy into what your goal looks like, feels like, and what you need to do along the way. So happy Friday. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sharing the videos for those of you that have been sharing, and I really appreciate that. And if there's a topic that you want me to talk about, drop me a note. I would love to hear from you. You can drop me a note at rich@richbracken.com. If there's a topic that's been bugging you, something you're trying to sort out, something that you need help with, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to do the research, find out what I can find out, and then share the message with you. But drop me a note, rich@richbracken.com. Drop me a note here on LinkedIn, whatever you need to do to reach out. But again, I appreciate everyone who has reached out and will continue to reach out. I appreciate all of you for doing your best every single day because, again, life is hard, things are hard, but you will get there. It will get better, and you will succeed by setting small goals and visualizing your success. Have a great Friday. Have an amazing weekend. Please do something intentional for yourself to make you happy and spend time visualizing your goal and setting at least 5 small steps to your big goal. You may need more, and that's fine. That just means the goal is a lot bigger. But set 5 small goals on the way to your big goal and spend 2 to 3 minutes visualizing what that success looks like. And let me know how it goes. I would love to hear what your goal is. I would love to hear how I can help and support you. But figure out what that is for you, and you'll feel the motivation kick in immediately. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.